Hi, Mark here from Pond Algae Solutions, and this week I want to talk about something that we get a lot of correspondence on, particularly in the springtime. Many people who have fish in both small and moderately large ponds write to us with problems with predators, and my friend here is one of them. This is a great blue heron. Obviously he's not real, although he is very likable in this state. He doesn't talk back and he doesn't cause any problems, but this type of bird can wreak havoc on a small koi pond or goldfish pond. They're very opportunistic, and once they find easy feeding, they certainly can cause a lot of problems and decimate fish stock very quickly. So first and foremost, a bird like this is protected by law. Most wildlife is in some form, and so you want to respect the laws of the land, of course, and respect wildlife as well, I think. But that doesn't mean that you have to feed the things a gourmet dinner of koi. So the reason I've got this out here, this actually is a Heron Decoy, and these can help somewhat. The reason is that heron and other wading birds, some types of birds, can be very solitary in their behavior, solitary in their hunting, and so the decoy basically is making the point that this area is already occupied. Don't bother stopping here because I'm already taking advantage of it. Having lived in the Midwest and near the Mississippi River for a number of years, I've had the opportunity to watch wild heron actually hunt in the shallows of the Mississippi, and I would say that generally speaking it is true. They are solitary hunters. The other thing that you can do to help protect fish is in pond design. If the pond has enough depth to it, something over a foot in depth, and more radically sloping sides where they just drop off rather than shelves, that can be very helpful. These birds often will want to hunt in shallower water, probably a foot or less deep, and once it gets deeper than that, they're definitely hindered. Most wildlife as well, predatory creatures like raccoons also have problem with deep water, but they are very opportunistic in terms of working from the shoreline. So anything that you can do to make that harder is definitely beneficial. Creating overhanging ledges that the fish can hide under is good. And I think one of the other problems that we run into, and although I wouldn't discourage you from getting comfortable with feeding your koi or your fish by hand and taming them down, you also have to realize, I think, that in doing that, when there is motion around the perimeter of the pond, a lot of times the fish may come up in curiosity, maybe out of habit, having been fed, and of course they in turn may become dinner themselves, and so it's an unfortunate incident, but with the right things we can definitely protect them. Now the other thing that people have used against birds particularly is some type of a mesh net covering. They have strung wire or line across to make it inaccessible for wading for the birds. Also chicken wire. Certainly it's not the prettiest thing, but it is pretty much impenetrable for something like this, as well as other creatures like raccoons and things like that. And so that's definitely a couple of workable solutions when you're dealing with a predatory bird like this. And you might include that egrets in that list. Also, we're going to show you a device in just a second that we found useful primarily against feral cats and felines, things like that. Believe it or not, they can cause problems for a pond owner too. As tame as they may be, they still have the hunting instincts, and there are definitely humane ways to ward them off. It may also help with other mammalian creatures like raccoons, although I should say ahead of time that it may not be 100%. I don't know that there is 100% protection other than maybe the chicken wire or netting. That can help a lot, but by using certain decoys and other devices you may be able to ward them off. So I'll show you the next device in just a second. We'll be right back.